Australasia and Europe, each encompassing about 9 holes. Hong Junmin and Lee Ga-yong are the new leaders with the 10 under score, tied at first with Lim Hee-jong and Lee Dae-yeon in tied third with 9 under. Bang Shin-sil still in there in the top, and she's in tied fifth with an 8 under. Remember, she finished off with 7 under in tied third last evening. So it's going to be interesting to see how she can, step up and really probably better her performance or not. So it's all happening right here in the heart of Seogu, which is in the Incheon metropolitan city. Yoon Ina, who was top of the heap yesterday, moves on to her third stroke for the sixth hole. And remember, she's carrying an 800, just escapes the beach, but she's had a bit too much of club on that. Finished off at the top of the heap yesterday, but hasn't really pulled in more points today. So that's quite interesting. Let's not forget Hwang Yoo-min also gave us a couple of great performances yesterday. She'll be one of the golfers to watch. And Lee Ga-yong, who's currently co-leader, she's had, well, a hat-trick of birdies, then a break and another birdie. And opportunity always, well, to claim the spoils. She's been in flying form here today. So Lee Ga-yong, one of the golfers to watch. Remember, still keep your eyes on Bang Shin-sil, because she had such an amazing event yesterday. She was really at the top of her game. Now here's Choi Min-kyuk, also was a joint finisher at the top yesterday with Yoon Ina. She hasn't dropped any points, but she hasn't gained any ground either, so it'll be very important to see what she can come up with. A gentle tap in, that should do it for her. Quick acknowledgement. Here's Choi Yi-rim on to her fourth stroke for hole number 6. And beautifully placed there by Choi Yi-rim. She had her moments too yesterday. But remember, it's always, well, just teething problems. And that all changes around. Just to keep you in the loop, of course, my name is Glenn Mascarenhas, and I'm going to be with you right till the end of this event, which will be on Sunday. Kim Soo-ji, 130 meters to the hole, her second stroke of hole number 8. Well, I think she would have just loved to have got that closer to the flagstick. All sails past her compatriot's effort. Jun Yi-sung was aiming for birdie there. Choi Min-kyung, she's on to her tee off for hole number 8. Much is expected from her. She'll really have to step up a game, because a lot of the other competitors have just started, well, gaining a few strides. Yoon Ina gets herself out of the trap, but, well, moving out of the beach and onto firm ground. Still stays on the border of the green. Well, just off it, to be precise. Fairly easy day today. Wind speeds at about, well, between 8 and 10. You can see the flagstick, of course, I would have said rocking, but more like dancing in the wind. Kim Soo-ji aims for birdie on hole number 8. She's at a bit of a distance. She'll have to navigate past that wind obstacle, which is fairly strong actually at this part. And she will have to settle for an even score, but as long as you can keep it in the neutral, you still give yourself a fighting chance for all the remaining holes in the day. So temperature at about 25 to 26 degrees. It's been fairly pleasant. I had a bit of sun. There's also a spot of rain expected, a bit of a drizzle later. We're just past the destination for Yun Ina. Also, very quick reminder, of course, that there's been a weather forecast for the evening. The Lee Ga-yong tees off for hole number 17. Remember, it's a par 3 for the asking. Just a weather forecast saying that it could drop to about 20 or 21 degrees Celsius in the evening. So, but that's post 7 o'clock, so it's not going to affect any of us here, especially not our golfers. Jin Yi-sung looking to finish on par, and yes, she does for hole number 6. Oh, I do love that shade of green. Absolutely wonderful. The kind of match that it has. I mean, the t-shirt when she's on the green itself. That's such a good match for, well, the camera more than anything else. Great color combination. Choi rim now. And she'll be pleased, of course, to have kept herself in the neutral as well. As long as you can escape those birdies. Now Yun Ina. Will take her time. And she's bogeyed the 6th one. And that's the reason why she wanted to take, well, just her own time to finish that off. She's dropped to a 7 under. Yesterday's co-leader. So on to the 7th hole. It's a par 3 for the asking, 147 meters to be precise. Keep in mind the fact, of course, that today we are looking at USA out and Australasia in. And that's pretty much what we had yesterday as well. Now the USA, well, loop of this course is a very, very interesting one. You've got a couple of amazing, well, holes in there that are named after famous golf courses in, well, the US. Time for tee off once again. Choi Rim tees off for hole number 7. She's going in with a 6 iron. It's 147 meters with a par 3 for the asking. This is called the Ritz-Carlton Golf Club and Spa Jupiter hole. It's a target golf style shot that you need. Very little grass in this very challenge. Natural forest and pine needle areas are strategically placed to avoid playable ground. And that was for hole number 7. Now on hole number 8 is Choi Min Kyung. 372 meters to a destination, to the hole, sorry, 158 meters. She's going to go with a 6 iron. And that's just gone past the flag stick. There's Jun Yi Sung as she tees off for hole number 7. Remember this, I said earlier, was named after the Ritz-Carlton Golf Club and Spa Jupiter, which was opened in 2002. The course was named one of Golf Week's 100 greatest residential courses in 2010. Also designed, well, this entire course designed by the Golden Bear, Jack Nicklaus. Now here's Lee Ga-yong will aim for birdie on hole number 17. She's still the joint leader, has performed really well from the morning. 8.2 meters to the hole. And that just skims past the flagstick, which is very interesting. Lovely tapping from her. And she'll be pleased to sponge for that. Here's Yoon Ina. She gets ready to tee off for hole number 7 after her counterparts have finished off their work. Now here's Yoon Ina going with a 6 iron. She's been very focused here today, Yoon Ina. I think yes, Kim Hee-ji, her second stroke on hole 18. She was one of the dawn breakers. So looking to finish off her event for the day. Hong Jun-min and Lee Ga-yong, well, very interestingly, are still up there with a 10 under. Lim Hee-jong, Lee Dae-yeon with 9 under and tied 3rd. Bong Shin-sil, Choi Min-kyung in 8 under and tied 5th. And Kim Soo-ji along with Park Hyun-kyung are right behind there with a 7 under. Remember, Yoon Ina also, well, just dropped out of the grid into that, well, 7 under after she bogeyed the previous hole. So Yoon Ina, of course, in the tied 7th now, along with Kim Soo-ji and Park Hyun-kyung. Well, just a very quick look, and do love, any drone shots or any, wide angle shots we can get. Big fan of that. It just gives you an entire landscape. It's almost like when the architects originally put down a model together of how it's going to be of the entire city more than anything else. You can see a lot of the structures in the background, and those six big buildings that you can see towards the right, or if you're facing the screen. It's quite amazing because some of the one of the holes is right out there, and you have that in the background. It looks like three big brothers watching you with three standing right behind. So quite amazing to watch. How many of these courses are constructed. I'm a huge fan of those that are constructed. More towards the mountainous region, and of course, second, of course, would be the ones constructed closer towards the water or towards the ocean front. And we've seen a few of those in the events. If I'm not mistaken, the CU Bank Open was played last year as well at one of them. So it really makes for a very scenic setting. But I think what Jack Nicklaus has done with this kind of a design right in the midst of habitation is he's created something very, very special, and it really makes for a very, very a great game of golf. So a lot of fans do turn up here, or golf enthusiasts, as and when they can. And every Nicholas or every Golden Bear design course does hold its own weight for itself. Time to get back to business after those beautiful scenic shots that we had. Needs to get out of the cat box. That's Junyi Sung. Well, that's where she got her tee off into. She's chipped that. Just a bit too much of arm on that, I think, and that's going to just roll back a little bit. It's a bit of a tricky hole. Well, a par 3 for the asking can always be a bit of a worry. We talk about ending the day's events, and the reason why you can hear that music so much is because it's right here near the clubhouse. Kim Hee-ji aiming for birdie on hole 18. Oh, that is such a wonderful effort, but just needed a bit more legs on that. Absolutely marvelous effort here from Kim Hee-ji, and she'll finish with a 6 under for, well, that front line. She's at 36. I think she's going to move on to her next few challenges, Kim Hee-ji. And while we do that, well, the reason why the US loop, of course, has got the clubhouse right at the end of the last hole. Oh, that is absolutely marvelous. Marvelous effort here. Choi Yu-rim picks up the first birdie of the day. She's up to 6 under, and that amazing effort on hole number 7 certainly deserved its fair share of applause. Well, we'll need to. Choi Min-kyung will have to wait for her next opportunity. She's missed out on a couple of birdies here today. She knows that. Yoon Ina, she's also been through the motions. Remember, day 2 will always bring its fair share of surprises. She dropped to a 7 under, aims for birdie on hole number 7. It's a bit of a distance. There's definitely a bit of a slope there that she'll have to conquer. Well, I think she came very, very close to it. Nails a cube in the air, but she'll be able to, well, tap that in and finish what she started. Here's Kim Soo-ji onto a second stroke for hole number 9. Junhee Sung looks to finish on par for hole number 7, and she's done wonderfully. She was in the cat box, got out of it, and has kept an even score without the scare of a bogey. She did have a bogey, of course. Well, she did have a bogey on that, so we did get those graphics wrong, I guess. She was in the cat box, but she's done well and kept herself to that 6 under. Here's Lee Dong-yoon carrying an even score. Her second stroke of hole 9, 101 meters to the hole. It's a 50-degree wedge. Well, decent placement from her, and she's got a chance to, well, finish off with a birdie here. We'll have to work for it. Meanwhile, Yoon Ina moves on to tee off for hole number 8. Still carrying that 7 under. It's a good bit of arm on. And Lee Ga-young onto the 18th hole as well. Remember, a couple of ladies playing the front or the back 9. That really depends. But at the end of the day, it's all about you finishing off with, well, 18 for the count. Here's Kim Soo-ji. The third stroke was aiming for birdie. It's always going to be a bit of a tough ask, there's no doubt about it. And now, of course, for that migration, I absolutely love that movement. Whenever we get those shots in the lens, it's always like, I always think, of course, when it gets down to the final day and you have all the fans and family and friends, and, well, I think the last 2 days actually, but on the final day, it's just amazing, isn't it? Always call it the Exodus. But I do love seeing that. It's like a flock of birds migrating to the south for winter. It's like, well, people migrating from one nation to the other, crossing continents, however you want to visualize it. But for me, always a very, very interesting moment. Actually, it's one of the few things that maybe, golf does, which so many other sports do not have that benefit of. Scenic shots. It's absolutely marvelous. So while we do have Lee Ga-young, well, still pushing her boundaries, Yoon Ina and Choi Min-kyuk have been in the focus, and that's with good reason. But I also believe that Bang Shin-sil will be one of those, well, golfers to watch. She's got herself into a fairly good position. She can create a bit of magic. Right at the clubhouse, we've got a change of music. It heard so much of Ed Sheeran for a couple of days. Lee Ga-yong aiming for birdie on hole 18. We'll just skim past it, but I don't think that should worry her too much because she'll keep the score intact. All she needs is a gentle tap in. We're just checking the surface to see that there's no incline there. And that should do it for her. Well, sometimes there's always that concern when, you know, the ball is so close. And 32, of course, what she's carrying in those 9 holes. She's had a fantastic start to the day. And always that question mark being raised about, you know, why would you want to, well, check the ground all around before you can actually knock the ball into the cup. Well, stranger things have happened, and golfers have missed out or lipped out from the closest, most, well, puttable shots, you would think. Jani Sung onto her second, 163 meters to the hole. This is for hole number 8. Meanwhile, Lee Dong-gyun aiming for birdie on hole 9. Well, I think just a shot taken a tad bit too fast. Choi Rim onto hole number 8. Looks like she just got herself into a little spot of trouble there. Yunina needs to do well to find herself on higher ground. Well, she did start off, or rather finished off beautifully yesterday. Second stroke for hole number 8. Now she's got the skills to pull together a really good round of golf here, but I do believe, well, as I said yesterday, well, the wind conditions have changed quite a bit, and that's really, I guess, just about upset the rhythm for some of the golfers. So Yunina, well, just trying to steady herself there, while Choi Min Kyung, the joint leader from yesterday, goes in with an 8 iron to cover 135 meters. This is for hole number 9. That's his second stroke. Well, just getting enough of that to approach well her destination, and I think she's done fairly well. So Hong Junmin and Lee Ga-yong continue to lead the way in round 2 so far. Hong Junmin, of course, has finished off with a 10 under and 66 points in the bag. Lee Ga-yong still has 9 holes to go, and there's a good chance that she could scale past her joint leader currently. Lim Hee-jong and Lee Dae-jeon have also done extremely well to stay up there. Choi Min-kyung is in tied 5th with 8 under, but Yoonina along with Kim Soo-ji, Park Hyun-kyung and Yoo Hyun-jo was carrying a 7 under. Let's not forget Park Hyun-kyung, of course, did finish off the day's event with 69 points in the bag, and that's fairly interesting because she was one of the last few to finish off yesterday, but she started off early today. Lee Won also finished off with a 5 under, and she was in tied 13 with Kim Haram 2 and Lee Jae-yong. Interesting because Lee Won, of course, has been is the top ranked player in the tournament, and along with Park Hyun-kyung, who's in second position, and it's really going to be a test of skill between these two ladies. Not that they are pitted against each other, but Lee Won, of course, did have a lot of moments yesterday that she had to overcome, and today much better for her, which means, of course, there's always a chance that tomorrow will get even better. Well, that's life, isn't it? Each day gets better than the next one, and that's the best that we can hope for. So interesting times here for us, and well, there's so much to be expected in this event. The 2024 WEMIX Championship, we made points, 20 million Korean won for the tour winner, and monthly, of course, 1 million Korean won for the player of the month. That's the most valuable player. So Park Hyun-kyung looks like in the WEMIX Championship she's overtaken Lee Won up to 2,984 points with 13 events played, while Lee Won, of course, sits in second position. So we're just giving you updates on that, on a daily basis. Here's Choi Rim. It's hole number 8 for her. Her third effort was aiming for birdie. Remember, she's carrying a 6 under. She had a very decent previous effort where she found herself with a birdie, or earned it rather. Now here's Choi Min-kyung. Will aim for birdie on hole number 9. Now that slipped out. Well, everything went well for her yesterday. Today she's just had a few upsets every now and then that personally shouldn't have lipped out, but hey, the ball has a mind of its own, and if it decides that it's not going to find its way into the cup, then you just got to live with it. But I don't think it can hold out much further, because Choi Min-kyung will definitely get that in. So she'll be happy to have kept an even 36 on that front nine. She said absolutely no B&Bs today, so absolutely no bogey, absolutely no birdie. It's all been an even score for her, which is why she's maintained that 8 under, but she'll have to do a lot better than that, keeping in mind the fact that there are front runners in there. Jun Yi-sung. Well, that's an 8th hole, and that's going to creep, and the wind will carry it through. Absolutely wonderful movement there. Talk about, well, the ball having legs sometimes. So she's up to a 5 under, and on the 8th hole. I think that's really going to be good for her spirit, because she's had her moments as well. She bogeyed, one of the previous holes. So absolutely delightful work there for her. Now we move on to more challenges. And that's Kim Soo-ji. She's on to her second stroke for hole number 10, and it looks like she might have hit the beach as well. That's going to be a cause of concern for her. Talking of concern, here's Yoon Ina, close to the border of the green. It's a distance to the flagstick. Will aim for birdie on hole number 8. Well, that wind could certainly work to your advantage sometimes, but this time, just a narrow miss. And we saw what happened, well, just previously. And that's a fine finish there for Yoon Ina. She'll still stay in the neutral zone. No birdies today, but 1 bogey for the count so far. Only 8 holes done. She's still got 11 to go. Sorry, 10 to go. Nicely taps in here. And good pickings for her. Just to take a very quick look at the 9th hole, and as we said, this of course is the Bears Club Florida hole. It was founded in 1999. The Bears Club is the Nicholas family's Florida home club, and it's one of the nation's elite private clubs and features a beautiful course with a layout reminiscent of the Catalina Plains. It is consistently ranked as one of the best golf communities in the United States by US magazines. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because this is the US loop is being used as the out. The final hole, of course, in some tournaments, but not in this one. It's a good test hole. It's got a dogleg, left bar hole, and you can see your tee shot toward the trees. You've got to set your tee shot towards the trees to get to the green really fast. Unique bunkers will catch the wrong shots, and that's a very tricky part if you look at the way the bunkers are. So it's one of those interesting holes. So it's a tribute to the Bears Club Florida. And here we go now with the tee off for hole number 9. Jun Yi-sung, she gets the honors after a birdie on the previous one. Just hooking that a tad bit. And she'll be happy with that movement. Choi rim. But first, she'll tee off for hole number 9. Kim Soo-ji, hole number 10, that's the third stroke. Now getting ready to tee off as well. And this is an interesting one here. Yun Ina. Does get a good bit of body movement into most of her drives, and I've seen that a couple of times over. There are some young golfers who do prefer more of wrist, forearm and wrist movement, generate a lot of power from that, keep a bit of a stiff forearm as well. But Yuni now very fluid, very flexible the way that she does. Well, tee off. Lee Ga-yong, and that's for hole 1. Remember, she finished off with the back 9. She's on to the front 9 now. She's definitely got a chance to take the lead in today's event. Chun Sung carrying a 5 under, 138 meters to the hole. Elsewhere, here's Kim Soo-ji aiming for birdie on hole number 10. Remember, she's carrying a 7 under as well. And she's done extremely well here. So she's up the points as well to an 8 under, and she'll be glad to start off the back 9 with a birdie. That's a third of the day. Had 2 on the front 9. Choi Rim onto a second stroke. Yun Ina onto her second stroke. Remember, this is hole 9. She's got 77 meters to the hole. If she can place this beautifully or perfectly, she's definitely going to get herself back up the points table and back up the leaderboard. And I think she's done fairly well. She's giving herself a shot in the arm for certain. Hong Jun-min and Lee Ga-yong still right out there at the top. Lee Ga-yong, remember, is on to her 10th hole. She's got a chance to get past Hong Jun-min, Lee Hee-jong, and is really doing extremely well to keep herself in that tied third. A couple of ladies, of course, who finished, like Park Yoon-kyung, for the day. We will see them back again tomorrow purely by their performance today. But the dew sweepers always sometimes have that slight disadvantage because they know that the ladies that come after them could do a lot well. So Lee Dae-yeon and Lim Hee-jong are in tied third with that 9 under. They both finished for the day with 69 and 68 respectively. Lee Hee-jong finishing with 69. Hong Jun-min also finished with 66 points and she claimed that top spot with a 10 under. Lee Ga-yong threatening to take that away from her. Bang Chun-sil in tied fifth with an 8 under, and she's finished off too with 71 points. Very interesting that she only picked up 1 under today. Kim Soo-ji and Choi Min-kyuk also joining Bang Chun-sil in tied 5th with 8 under, while Park Yoon-kyung and Yoon E-na are in tied 8th. Yoon E-na's got a chance to scale past Park Yoon-kyung because Park Yoon-kyung finished early with 69 points. And then in tied 10th, of course, you've got Kim Hee-ji, who's carrying a 6 under along with Choi Yi-rim and Yoo Hyun-jo. Both Choi Yi-rim and Yoo Hyun-jo have got a chance to move further because Choi is currently on 8 points while Yoo Hyun-jo is on 7. Lee Jae-yong, Lee Won and Kim Haram-too all finishing with the tied 13th and a 5 underscore respectively. 68 points for Lee Jae-yong, Lee Won finishing with 69 and Kim Haram-too with 70. So that's pretty much the front runners and what we can expect, or the players that we will expect to see in action again very soon. Kim Soo-ji, well, pursuing another underscore here. Definitely a chance to have made it count here. We'll just miss out narrowly. Jun Yi-sung, she is concerned because she finishes back again with a bogey there, 35 on the front nine, and that will just see her drop to a 4 under score. And Yunina will be happy because keep in mind the fact that she'll keep that 37 on the front nine, 7 under her score. She's had one bogey but other neutral finishes. Choi Min Kyung with an 8 under. She's onto her third stroke for hole number 10. Park Ji-young onto a second stroke for hole 9. Well, did come fairly close towards the tin cup, but I think she's still got a bit of a distance. Choi Rim will tee off there. She's also having a very, very interesting day here today. And teeing off, well, so very important to find yourself on the fairway. And more importantly, to make sure that you can will just create opportunities with every single stroke that you take. And elsewhere on the course, it's Kim Hyo-joo. Second stroke for hole number 9. Well, gets it onto the green. It's that wind speeds. We will have a check on them later. And you can see the flag stick dancing back and forth. Yesterday it was fairly still. Wind speeds about 2.5 or 3. Choi Min Kyung aims for birdie on hole number 10. Chance here to upgrade herself to a 9 under, 4.3 meters to the hole. She's got to conquer a slight bit of a descent there. That was always going to be tricky, there's no doubt about it. Choi herself very aware of it. Does manage to tap that in, so no worries at all. Well, keep an even score here. G, one of the strongest golfers, held that #1 position for the longest in the KLPGA. She's a wonderful golfer to watch in action. Yoon Ina teeing off for hole number 10. Well, she stayed out of clearly stayed away from, well, the beach, but she's got to be careful, Yunina, with every single effort of hers. Here's a young lady who did fairly well in that early part of the day, Kim Soo-ji, aiming for birdie on hole 11. She'll have to settle for a neutral finish. Absolutely phenomenal effort from her. Lee Ga-young has been, well, the pick of the day today. Yesterday it was Bang Shin-sil who did that. Now it's Lee Dong-gyun. Oh, that ball's certainly afraid of the dark. There's no doubt about it. It's just going to sit there before it gets coaxed in. And Lee Dong-gyun is not going to be a big fan of that. But what a narrow, well, miss there. And there, as we can see it, of course, you've got the festivities on. I don't mean anything else, but there's food. Absolutely love it. Around the area. And of course, this is the place where the golfers do gather. Always there's a good bit of refreshment and beverages. Still trying to figure out what the pink teddy bear is. Probably connected to the main sponsor. Always a chance for her to redeem herself as well. She's had a few good ups and downs today. Jin Yi-sung, she dropped to a 4 under with a bogey on the previous hole. Now she needs to cover 257 meters to the hole. It's hole number 10, her second stroke. Well, she'll keep off the sandy surface, and I think that's really important. You want to stay out of the cat box as much as you can. That's just going to sail past its destination. Almost a glance at the hole from that ball. Park Ji-young. Choi Rim. It's a 10th hole. Tries to cover a good bit of ground as well. What an applause for her. Finishes with a birdie there and 36 points on the front nine. Good bit of cheer. She's a seasoned golfer. Does command a lot of respect as well. And Lee Ga-yong. And she takes the leadership here now with 11 under. She's had 5 birdies, 4 on the front nine, 1 on the back nine, and she still has, well, to be precise, 7 holes to go. It always looks like she was going to claim the top spot. She is the golfer to watch today. Yesterday it was Bang Chun-sil who was the big mover. Yoon Ina finished at the top of the heap yesterday, but today, well, she's struggling to keep herself, to keep that rhythm. 190 meters to the hole for hole number 10. That's a second stroke. Will stay away from the green, but I think she'll be happy enough to get it closer. Park Min-ji will aim for a birdie on hole 9, and she manages to nail it nice and easy. Very quick one on her. She held the top ranking position for 134 weeks at one point of time, and that was the longest by any Korean ladies golfer. She remained for 134 weeks straight at the top. The second, of course, was Choi Hai-jin, who remained at 49 weeks. She's stayed at number 1, but she had a continuous run for about 44 weeks. And then Lee won, of course, for 30 weeks. So these are, the big ranking golfers who really had a long stay at the top spot. Lee Dong-gyun. Here's Choi Min-kyung. Choi Min-kyung onto her second stroke for hole number 11. Employing the 9 iron. She's got a bit of club on that, but I think she's still put herself into a fairly safe position. Here's Jun Yi-sung on to a third stroke. It's hole number 10. She needs to cover 85 meters to the destination. Remember, she's got a 4 under. She'd like to get herself back to that 5. By So-yoon now on to her second stroke for hole number 11. Well, that is outstanding. That is absolutely an outstanding shot, and I don't think she was expecting an eagle out of that. And that is sheer joy for her. So by So-yoon, she's got an even score, an eagle there on the 11th. Well, I'd be happy too if I nailed an eagle. That's so exciting to see one always. Yoon Ina carrying a 7 under. She's on to hole number 10. This is the third stroke. Has to be careful. Well, she's chipped that fairly well. She can earn herself an underscore here. Doesn't look like it's too far off. By So-yoon. That's sheer excitement for her. She would love to keep that ball, and she will. That's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Came in out of the blue, or rather from out of the green. So wonderful for Bai So-yoon. She was having such a tiresome day. Just had a bogey on that front 9. Started off with a bogey, if I'm not mistaken. Jun Sung will aim for birdie on hole number 10. Gets it fairly close. Choi Min Kyung. And it's a birdie for her. She'd be glad to go up to a 9 under on that 11th hole. Her first birdie of the day, and she adds to her achievements of yesterday. Kim Hee-ji. She gets a birdie there as well on the 12th. Meanwhile, here's Yoon Ina, also looking to get herself back in good stead. Aims for birdie on hole number 10. She had a good setup. And once again, just a narrow miss. And I think that that's going to be just a bit worrying for her. Lee Ga-young using a 6 iron to tee off for hole number 3. Well, she finished the back 9 first. Well, just falling shy of getting herself another well, underscore here, but I think she'll be just happy to have worked that well. Yunina now. Well, she just missed out on that birdie earlier. Look to tap this in to stay on an even score for hole number 10. And I think this should work fairly well for her. Quick smile from her as well. Well, if you really, done extremely well on day one, and here's Bai So-yoon. She gets the honor for the first time today to tee off. She's an extremely happy camper. She's got an eagle on her shoulder. And I think was just sheer joy for her. So here she goes as she tees off for hole number 12. Using a 6-iron. She's on an even score currently. And getting yourself on the green can sometimes be one of the most important things. That's exactly what she does. Choi Min Kyung using a 6-iron. That's for hole number 12. She tees off. Well, that encouragement from the crowd about it having to go. I always think sometimes the ball does listen. Choi Min Kyung happy with the effort. Meanwhile, here to tee off for hole number 11, here's Choi Rim. Remember, it's a par 4 for the asking. 355 meters is what we're looking at. Let's also look very quickly at the hole itself. It's called the Sherwood Hills Golf and Country Club Philippines hole. It's on a 5-meter downhill, and you need a good tee shot to clear the left wetland. You can't slice it or, play it short. You'll land into trouble. You need Nana to take, her chances with this hole. We'll need to, just run that through before she does. Let's not forget that this hole, of course, was a tribute to the golf course in the Philippines, the Sherwood Hills Golf and Country Club, which opened in August 1998. It's a world-class course located in Tresin, Maitre, Cavite, and it's considered one of the best courses in the Philippines. Also was designed by Jack Nicklaus and his son, Jack Nicklaus too. Well, just searching for the reeds there, and I think she's going to be happy that she stayed out of it. Yoon Ina, living life on the edge, you would call it. So she's got to mark that spot before the wind decides to move that ball in. And that'll work wonders for her. Seo Ujin finishes with a birdie on hole number 13. She's carrying a 4 under. Remember, she's still got 5 holes to play for in the day. And I think she'll be happy about her performance today. Lee Ga-young next. Remember, she's the leader with 11 under. Oh, that was agonizingly close for her. Will miss out on a birdie, but she can finish very easily with an even score. And there we have it. Lee Ga-yong will keep that 11 under intact. So Lee Ga-yong will hold on to that top spot. She's still got 6 holes to play for. Hong Jung-min, of course, finished off with 10 under and 66 points. So she might drop down the order with a couple of others in tied third, just tapping on that spot. There's still a few golfers who are on the course, including Yoo Hyun Jo, who's in tied 11th, Yoon E-na, Choi Rim in tied 11th, Yoon E-na in tied 10th. So it's all happening right here at, well, this very, very special course, which, let's remind you, is the one designed by Jack Nicklaus, the Golden Bear. It's called the Bear's Best Cheongna. Remember, we've got the 2 loops that we are playing today, USA on the out and Australasia on the in. 72 holes stroke play for the event itself. And keep in mind the fact that we are looking at, well, 3 loops, but only using 2 of them. There's another loop called the Europe loop. Situated right here in Seogyu, Incheon Metropolitan City. Very pleasant weather on these parts. Today it's been about 25, 26 degrees Celsius, but wind speeds were up to 10, unlike yesterday, which was 2.5, and I believe they'll be much stronger now. Haven't really gone and taken a look at what they've been registered at. A reminder, of course, that this is the Lotte Open, and the prize money is 868,188 USD. So that's 868,188 US dollars. The Bear's Best Coast, of course, was designed by Jack Nicklaus, and the 27-hole course, well, is a tribute to 27 holes selected from among the 290 golf courses in the world. So that's a fascinating way to name them. Also, let's remind you that this is the 47th season of the KLPGA, of the LPGA of Korea Tour, the professional golf tour for women, which is operated by the Korea Ladies Professional Golf Association. So 2024, 47 years, 3 more years, and I hope I'm around for that as well. In 2027, you'll have the golden anniversary. So do stay with us, don't go anywhere as we continue with our action in the Lotte Open 2024. Here's Chun Yi-sung, 137 meters to the hole, the second stroke for hole 11. That'll just fall a tad bit short. Choi Min Kyung, meanwhile, aiming for birdie on hole number 12. That's going to get close, but it will stop short. She'll finish off that with an even score. So Yun will look to capitalize on that birdie on the 11th, on that eagle on the 11th with the birdie on the 12th, and just about missing it. Oh, what an opportunity here. She actually had it together and definitely, charged up after that previous hole. She will keep that even score, unfortunately, but she was able to, well, just neutralize that over that she had and bring it back down to an even score thanks to that eagle. Here's Yun Ina onto her 11th hole. Second stroke. She needs to gauge the direction, and that's exactly what she's doing. It's almost like it was in a straight line, but keep in mind the fact it's that wind that she'll be careful about, and how that ball's going to carry. That's so very important. So just falling shy of actually getting onto the green, but she still kept that direction intact, and I think that'll work for her. Park Do Young onto her second stroke. Yuni now, well, so agonizingly close, straight out of that rough onto that carpet, but I really think, well, Yuni now has been consistent today, but she hasn't been really at the top of a game like she was yesterday. She was in stellar form yesterday. Kim Soo-ji now onto a second stroke. She's had a very decent outing at the office. Gets herself onto the green, but this is a tricky one. There's a few, well, ups and downs on the green itself. And one of the ladies looking bright in that pink and white here today is Choi Rim, aims for birdie on hole number 11. Absolutely stunning there. Well, she's had some great moments. She's up to a 7 under. She had a birdie on the front 9, now 1 on the back 9, and she's still got 6 holes to play for. Or 7 holes, sorry, to play for. So and I think she'll be a happy camper too. Junyi Sung, just to reclaim that 5 under. That smile says it all. Yunina, we'll wait for her to break into a smile. She'll need to do that sooner or later. Looking for an on-par finish here. That'll just scale past, well, her destination. That's a decent finish for her. Lee Dong-gyun, meanwhile, carrying a 1 under. She'll go in with a 9 iron to cover 119 meters for a second effort on hole number 13. Very, very good placement from her, and I think she'll be pleased as punch with that. Here's Lee Ga-young. On to hole number 4. She's carrying 11 under. Remember, she finished with the back 9. She's on to that front 9. And it'll be interesting to see how she performs right till the end of the day. Very, very gutsy performer. She's just been very focused, and I think that that's really what it is. She hasn't blinked through the entire day, or had a blemish, and touch wood for that. And every day you'll normally see a golfer shine. Sometimes on the third day or the fourth and final day, you'll see, well, 2 golfers shine, and then only the one who rides the lightning gets ahead of the other, and that's not always the case. Sometimes you have some golfers who lead right from the start of the final day itself, and then there are some, of course, who lead and then fall out, with just a few mistakes or a few things that go wrong. Always left to the forces of nature besides just your own skill. And looking forward to seeing that car for that hole-in-one. I'm always excited about that more than anything else. Hand-up motors, as we can see. And that's for the 12th hole. Choi Rim, definitely eager to drive away in 1. It's always easier said than done, and that's really the interesting thing about an event like this. Choi Rim, sporting a 7 under. Well, we'll tee off for that hole-in-one. The car might be out of the question, but a birdie might be more a possibility here. Pacquiao. Oh, that is absolutely wonderful. Lovely concentration, lovely direction, kept that line. Pacquiao finishes with the birdie and a first 9 with 36 points. 2 under is the score that she's on. Kim Soo-ji aiming for birdie on hole 13. Will narrowly miss out, but all it needs now is a tap in to keep that even. Didn't have to sweat for that. So Jun Yi-sung tees off for hole number 12. Remember that hole-in-one still available for the asking. Has also got herself to a fairly strong distance away from the flagstick. Hole number 14. That was a lovely setup earlier, but right now it's Yunina who's next to tee off from hole number 12. Just a good bit of push on that. Yunina has also been a picture of concentration today, but she's had a couple of worries right through, mainly with being able to, well, create any magic like she did yesterday, and I think that will be, well, something she'll have to be very careful about. Well, you don't want to drop off the grid too much, and I think that's the question. That's going to skim past the hole itself. Here's Lee Dong-gyun. And a birdie there on 13, and that's going to put, well, her into a better position. She'll be happy about it on the 13th hole. And a quick smile there, and a light moment shared with the caddy. Chai Carbin aims for birdie on hole 14. She's also carrying an even score here in the event so far. Not too much of an advantage, but she can get that in, and yes, she does. And that's going to make her very happy. She had, well, consecutive bogeys, so just a bit of relief there and a breath of fresh air with a birdie on the 14th. That also takes her to a 1 under. Choi Rim. It's got a lot of distance to cover for hole number 12. Well, I'll be. Slight bit of hesitation, but that is such a fantastic effort. Choi Rim now, she's well, just added a brace there in that in the back nine, and she's really excited about it. Amazing, just an amazing well, bit of work. Sometimes, you know, the wind and the decline on the slope, the descent of the slope works in your favor, and I think it all just came together for Choi Rim there. Lee So Young now aims for birdie on hole number 14. That's another gentle miss for her. Choi Min Kyung. The second stroke for hole number 13, 160 meters to the hole. She's got herself up to a 9 under, just done a tad bit better than her joint leader from yesterday, Yoon Ina. Don't think she's too happy with that effort though.
Nice putt.
That's going to creep in. It's going to, and it's just, well, that's what I said. It could either come together for you like it did for Choi Rim, for Yoon Ina. Well, just stopping shy. That ball definitely, well, afraid of the dark. And Yoon Ina, of course, has had a fair share of trials. She returned to the course, you know, in April 2024, and that was after her 3-year ban was cut short by officials for playing the wrong ball in a tournament, and then continuing to compete for a month before she confessed her mistake. So she really has been through quite a bit, and it's not easy. Let's not forget, more important than anything else, it's never easy to own up to anything, you know, where you made a mistake, and it takes a lot of courage and strength. It's the right thing to do, but well, some more power to golfers like Yoon Ina. She is one of the golfers that I love watching in action. Now for hole number 12. Oh, that's worked beautifully. Just keeping Choi Rim company. Absolutely wonderful effort from her. Jun Yi-sung moves up to a 6 under, consecutive birdies on the 11th and 12th hole. Absolutely wonderful effort. And she'll acknowledge that with a half smile. She is happy about that, no doubt. Meanwhile, here's Choi Min Kyung.
Oh, nice.
That's going to sail away from the target itself. Here's Choi Rim teeing off for hole number 13. Remember, she had a wonderful, wonderful birdie on the previous well hole. Choi Min Kyung does well. Just a quick fist bump there. That'll work. Getting ready to tee off now. It's Yoon Ina. Just got to concentrate on getting her points back up. Well, that's driven beautifully. Kept it fairly straight. A good bit of power behind that. She's got herself a good bit of progress on the fairways, and I think that's what she would have wanted. Here's Kim Soo-ji. Hole number 14, her third stroke. She's carrying that 8 underscore. And also teeing off, here's Chun Sung for hole number 13. Now here's Lee Ga-young onto her second stroke. This is for hole number 5. 103 meters to the hole, going in with a 48-degree wedge. 11 under. Well, that's her current score, where she's the leader in today's event, in this very tournament for now. Kim Ji-hyun aiming for birdie on the second stroke, that is. Here's Kim Soo-ji. Go for birdie on hole number 14. She too is one of the contenders here today that's shown a lot of promise, especially in today's event. Oh, just a bit too much of forearm on that one, I would have thought. But just got it to sail past the destination. Lee Dong-gyun getting ready for her effort next. Here's Wang Jung-mi. Had a birdie in the previous rounds on this very hole. That's hole number 17. She also has a 6 under score. It looks like she probably just fell a tad bit short of the green. Han Ji-won, well, absolutely marvelous effort from her there on hole number 9. Set herself up very well for, well, a clean finish. Talking of which, Choi Rim needs to get out of the cat box, while Chun Sung will go in for a second stroke for hole number 13. 150 meters to the hole. That's what she's looking to cover. They've been our main, trio in focus. Chun Sung, Choi Rim, and of course, Yoon Ina. Well, straight on to the green, and I don't think she's going to be too displeased about that. It was an excellent, well approached shot. That hole in one back again. Hyundai Motors, the car that you can see. Kim Hyo-jo. Back to Kim Soo-ji. Needs to finish on par. Missed out on a birdie here for hole number 14. Just had a bit too much of, I won't say club, but a bit too much of forearm on that push. And she does it again, but this time it's close enough, so wants to wrap that up fast. We'll keep the even score. So as long as she doesn't drop points, I think she'll be happy about that. Choi Rim needs to get out of the depths there. Choi Rim to go next. And pulling herself closer towards the green. Choi Min Kyung next. It's hole number 14. Yoon Ina. A second stroke for hole number 13. Needs to draw this in well.
Sure.
Lee Ga-yong will aim for birdie. That could take her up to a 12 under. But when she does it, definitely the star performer for today. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely fantastic from her. That, of course, is her 6th birdie for the day, and she's still got a few more holes to play for. Well, living through the moments is one of the most important things, especially when you want to try and get out of the rough. And well, some of our golfers today have had such a moment. So very quickly, let's run you through our leaderboard. Lee Ga-yong leading right at the top with a 12 under. She still has 4 more holes to play for. Hong Jun-min finished off, of course, with a 10 under. She's in 2nd position. Now, here's the interesting thing. Lee Ga-yong can really stretch that lead. She's been in stellar form, 6 birdies, not a single bogey in there, and that really tells a bit of a story. Yunina still has to pick herself up and come good very quickly. Let's see, Hong Jun-min, of course, now is in 2nd. She's finished her day with 66 points. Lee Hee-jong, Lee Dae-yeon, and Choi Min Kyung are currently in tied 3rd. Choi Min Kyung is still on the course with 5 holes to play for. So she can, of course, get into that 2nd position or tie with Lee Ga-yong. Her co-partner from yesterday, Yoon Ina, on the other hand, is not doing as well. But Bang Shin-sil, Kim Soo-ji, Choi Ye-rim, and Yoo Hyun-jo with that 8 underscore are in tied 6th, while Park Hyun-kyung is in tied 10th with a 7 under. So that's always an interesting bit when you think about it. There is still going to be that huge challenge there for the top spot today, but it could all change tomorrow, so let's not well, get ahead of ourselves. and that's what makes it interesting. So don't go anywhere as the Lotte Open continues right here in the KLPGA 2024. And this, of course, is the Bears Best in Chongna. And we continue with our coverage of this event to find out who will claim round 2 and who makes it through to round 3. Here's Joy Rim to pursue an even finish on hole number 13, and it looks like she's going to bogey that one. Well, she'll take it gracefully, but keep in mind the fact that she will drop down the points order. Well, wonderfully done to get that onto the green. Here's Yoon Ina. She'll finish with an even score. Remember, she dropped down to a 6 under, finished off with an 8 under yesterday. Jenny Sung teeing off for hole number 14. Well, she's been fairly steady in this back nine after she had a bit of a shaky, well, first nine. But having said that, she was down to a 4 under, got herself back up to a 6 under. Choi Min Kyung will aim for birdie on hole number 14. 5.5 meters to the hole. There is a tad bit of a tricky slope there, not too much, and I think she was just trying to get that to swerve in a little bit. Well done there by Choi Min Kyung. And she's been all smiles because she hasn't really had, well, anything that hasn't gone her way today. Yunina, on the other hand, carrying a 2 over in today's event, which dropped the score to a 6 under. Absolutely wonderful there. You really want to do the best when it comes to, well, teeing off. Yunina has also had her work cut out for her today. Choi Rim doing extremely well, keeps herself on the fairways. Lee Gayong, a third stroke. Absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Her form has just been so good. It's just been a delight to watch her today. And that's the thing, right? When you are at your peak, at the peak of your powers on a given day, everything just comes together for you. And Lee Gayong has been in stellar form. Park Do-young aiming for birdie on hole number 15. That'll carry, and it'll find its way through. So Park Do-young gets a birdie on hole number 15, and she's up to a 2 under. Junhee Sung. Second stroke for hole 14. Kim Ji-hyun aim for birdie. She's right there at the clubhouse. Will have to settle for an even score on that 18th. And she'll finish her event for the day. Kim Hee-jun, for the back nine. She's got 3 birdies in there. She's got still, for the front nine, she's still got the back nine to play for. She's got a 4 under, Kim Hee-jun, so that works well for her. Choi Rim, on the other hand, is on to a second stroke for hole number 14. Remember, it's a trio that's in focus for us. Junhee Sung, Choi Rim, and of course Yoon E-na. Roll back just a little bit, and that's when the well inclined will work against you. Trying to get the most mileage out of that. Yoon E-na. Flew under the radar for most part of yesterday, Kim Soo-ji. She might just be one of the dark horses in the tournament. 4.5 meters to the hole, will finish with an even score. She's kept that consistent with that 8 under score she's been carrying. And Lee Ga-young. But there are days when you will find yourself in a tad bit of a struggle. Junhee Sung up next. Junhee Sung just trying to get ahead as best as she can. And every time you do hear that voice of Ed Sheeran, you know we're close to the clubhouse. Wang Jung-mi, hole number 18. Aims for birdie. She's carrying a 6 under score. Joy Rim has had a very, very interesting day as well. Here's Choi Min Kyung carrying that 9 under. Now that's well done. Lee Ga-young will soak in all the attention here today. She so deserves it. Yoon Ina. Very calm and collected Yoon Ina meanwhile. Here we go with Hong Jun-mi. Needs to finish on par for hole 18. Oh, well done. Needed to get that curve, a semi-banana there, but Hong Jung-mi finishes her first 9 with 34 points and a 6 under. She's still got 9 holes to play for, and that could work well for her. That's just close enough, but not close enough to perfect for her today. Junhee Sung well needs to pull in whatever she can. Needs to keep it steady there. Yoon Ina aims for birdie on hole 14. Lee Ga-yong still sporting that 12 under. Tees off for hole 7. Remember, she's just got another 3 holes in there to make it count. And Choi Rim once again delights here. Absolute perfection from her. She had 2 birdies, a bogey, and then a birdie to get herself back in good stead. I think that's fantastic. It's all about, well, that spirit and, never giving up. You keep, well, pecking away as best as you can. Choi Min Kyung will clean that up. I don't think she'll be, well, too worried. She's still carrying that 9 under. She's one of the front runners in this tournament so far. Has been very consistent over yesterday and today. Yesterday, of course, was really that silver lining for her when she came up with that 8 under score to join Yunina at the top. So very quickly, a look at the leaderboard. Lee Ga-yong currently has 3 holes to play for. She's on to her 16th. 12 under is what she's carrying. Sorry, she just finished the 15th. Park Hyun-kyung finished off her day's events, and Kim Hee-ji, of course, has still got a chance to uplift herself. So all the golfers who are still on the course definitely have a chance to make it count. So the action continues right here at the Lotte Open. Don't go anywhere, as we still have a lot more action left in there. Joy Rim will tee off for hole number 15. Remember, 330 meters is what we're looking at. And this is an interesting one, of course, when you talk about it. Jung Yi-sung up next. Will tee off for hole 15 as well. Remember, this is on the Australasia coast, which is the Inn. And this one named after the Borneo Golf and Country Club, Malaysia. It's the first hole in the course with a lake around it and the extensive bunkers around the tee and in front of the forward area adds to the dramatic effect of the hole. There's a lot of space for golfers to escape the hazard, and that's important. Yun Ina goes on next. We did speak about Yunina teeing off for hole number 15. Remember, it's a par 4 for the asking. The Borneo Golf and Country Club Malaysia, which it's named after this hole, was considered one of the best courses in Malaysia. It has that, semi-links design concept. And the Jack Nicklaus Signature Golf Course offers a championship of 6,546 meters. The interesting part is the course is well worth its praise as the pride of Borneo. Borneo is a beautiful place. Well, if you can get there, have had some amazing times there, especially regarding the vegetables and fruits. Lee Ga-yong aims for birdie on hole number 7. And that's just going to fall shy. As long as she can tap that in, I think it works. And that's straight in. Good bit of confidence here. Yujin gets a birdie, her 4th of the day. She's steadily gone up to a 5 under, still got 1 hole to play for. Jenny Sung up next. Her second stroke for hole 15. Kim Soo-ji up next. Using a 7-iron, she'll tee off at hole number 17. And that's straight on to the green itself. Kim Soo-ji has been very, very good today. Very, very progressive with what she's done. Meanwhile, here's Yoon Ina. It hasn't been a good day for her at the office. It hasn't been a bad one as well, but she's had a 2 over, which is what she's amassed today. Dropped the score down from 8 under to a 6 under, and somehow just struggling to find form. And it happens to, it happens to anybody on a given day. It's not just about your form, but it's probably about your mood, probably about a lot of things that come together on a given day. Lee Dong-gyun, another one of those hardworking golfers. She shines bright on certain days too. Today, she's just carrying a 1 under, but as she tees off for hole number 17, she's gone in with a 7-iron. Choi Min Kyung has done well, nothing wrong today. Aims for birdie on hole number 16. 4.1 meters to the hole. Just narrowly missing that. She's had about 3 or 4 opportunities like this that have just slipped through her fingers. We'll keep that even score, but she could have gone up to probably 11 under or even a 12 under today. Just 1 birdie for the count there on hole number 11, and she can still take her score up a tad bit. So Jun Yi-sung, a tap-in should do the job for her. There we have it, the scenic shot of this course. As I said, designed by Jack Nicklaus, the Golden Bear, and it does have, of course, the Australasia loop, the USA loop, and the Europe loop. The US loop was for the out, and the Australasia loop is for the in. That's where we are on right now. Yoon Ina, well, will just miss out on a birdie once again. And her body language, well, it's just been a bit worrisome. Well, she's a young lady, as we said earlier. She's lived through a lot. She's had her moments on the course, and it's not very easy. In career, respect is one of the greatest things that is given, one of the highest, places in any walk of life. And well, to lose a bit of that, whether it comes to due to a misdemeanor, due to a mistake, and then having to admit to that, which is what she did a while back when she played a wrong ball in a tournament, and then she continued playing for a month before she actually admitted that. But she was banned for 3 years, and then the ban was cut short, which is a very good thing, because she's a golfer that deserves to be on the course. And more power to her. We do hope to see her scale to new heights. Choi Rim now. Well, hole number 15, always a birdie can be elusive. But as long as she can stay out of the positive or out of the over, I think she'll pretty much be happy with the performance. So a vast change as far as yesterday's front runners are concerned. We did have a lot of consistency across the board, but today we have seen some of the stars really get up there. Lee Ga-yong, fantastic today. Lee Dong-gyun, one of the golfers that I really favor, not because of anything else, but she keeps chipping away, and there are days when she'll really be at the top of the game. A very hardworking golfer. Do love to see her in action. Aims for birdie on hole number 17. It's a tad bit of a distance for her. There's also a tad bit of a slope moving downwards with a bit of a curve. And that's in. Well done by Lee Dong-yoon. She's up to 2 under now. Had a bogey on the previous, a birdie now. She's got one more hole to play for. 38 on that back nine. And if she gets another birdie, she'll probably finish off with a decent enough overall score today. Yoon Ina. So she'll finish with an even score there. She's also got just about 2 more holes to play for. Big cheer from the crowd. A lovely smile from her. She's a pretty girl, like most of the other golfers here. Really elegant and classy, all of them. They carry themselves beautifully. Love their choice of outfits. Sometimes it's somber, sometimes it's bright. But more importantly, their skill. Very, very focused, very hard-working, and some of them, of course, brimming with talent. We saw what Bai So Yoon did, or what she's capable of, and she nailed that eagle a while back. Back to Choi Rim. Another golfer who's been at the top of her game today. Tees off for hole number 16. She's carrying an 8 under. It's a very, very strong trio, actually. But left to be seen what comes of it. Choi Rim, Jun Yi Sung, and of course, Yoon Ina. Here's Kim Hee-ji. She's got a 7 under score so far. Let's remind you that this event, of course, is worth 1,200 million won, which is 868,188 USD. And with those tall structures in the background, we see Yoon Ina get ready to tee off for hole number 16. So that's just 3 holes to play for now. She's up to 6 under. Remember, hole number 16 is called the Kinloch Golf Resort, a New Zealand hole. And Kinloch Club in Lake Taupo was named the world's best new course in 2007 by TNL Golf before the last 9 holes were even completed. And a poll by Asian Golf Monthly ranked it among the top 3 courses in New Zealand. There might be something in here for Kim Soo-ji. She's on hole number 17. Choi Min Kyung will go next for hole number 17. She's using a 6 iron. It's a par 3 for the asking. .155 meters is what we're looking at. Well, just giving you a view of all the structures that are situated right around that lake or that water. And looking to make it count here is the young Jun Yi Sung. Second stroke for hole number 16. Lee Ga-yong. A birdie might just be out of the question here on hole number 8, but an even score will do well for her. Choi Rim onto her second stroke for hole 8. Fairly decent placement. I think a confident shot that'll stay put there for the time being. Lee Ga-yong will finish on par, so she'll still keep that 12 under intact and stay at the top of the leaderboard. 2 more holes to play for. And, well, as I said this earlier, she's just been very focused, just gone about her day like a regular, day at the office. Just done her job, got on with it. It's not been too much of, and everything's just fallen into place for her. And there are days when, you can walk through obstacles of fire and nails and glass, and you'll avoid all of them if that day is right for you. I don't know how it works. Yun Ina onto a second stroke, 101 meters to cover. This is for hole 16. Stays just off the green, but could finish with an on par here. And it's moments like this that have really bothered her. Yesterday she was just very confident, her body language, the way she went about her game, her strategy. Today I think she's had to question herself time and again. She's had to answer a few questions that have been in her mind, and I think that's really playing on her as well. Meanwhile, Kim Soo-ji, what a performance from her, will tee off for the 18th hole. She's carrying an 8 under, which makes her a happy camper. Giving that a good bit of par. And this will sail closer towards the flagstick. It's tee off time once again, and for a change, as you can see, that earthy portion around there where the grass is not yet grown. Lee Ga-yong will go in to tee off for hole number 9, and that's going to be her last hole for the day. Remember, she finished the back 9, now it's the front 9. She's got that 12 under score to keep well untouched, and that's what she'll aim to do. Oh, absolutely stunning there. Just had the right amount of push. Seo Yujin finishes with consecutive birdies, and 33 on the back 9, 34 on the front 9, 6 under for the count, and I think she'll be very, very happy. So a couple of golfers really standing out today, coming out of the woodwork to produce some great results. And that's what we're looking at. Lee Ga-yong still at the top, because playing for her last hole now. She's with the 12 under. Hong Jung-min in second with 10 under. And then the trio, Lim Hee-jong, Lee Dae-yeon, and Choi Min-kyung with 9 under in tied third. Bang Shin-sil, Kim Soo-ji, Choi Yu-rim, of course, follow suit. And it's very important to know that well, while most of these golfers would have finished their day's activities, you've still got Choi Min-kyung, who is in tied third, and on a 16th hole. So she's got 2 more holes to play for, and she's got a chance of probably getting into second position, because she's just 1 behind Hong Jun-min, who's in second. Lee Ga-yong, of course, will finish off the day probably at the top, unless she makes a huge error on hole 18, which I doubt she will. Bang Shin-sil, Kim Soo-ji, Choi Yu-rim, and Yoo Hyun-jo in that tied 6th. Interestingly, Kim Soo-ji is on hole number 17, but Yoo Hyun-jo, don't discount her. She's on hole 14, and she has been in very, very good form today. She's also got the crowd behind her. She's a crowd favorite. So a lot to expect. There's still a good bit of action left in here for us as far as, well, round 2 is concerned. But don't go anywhere, and let's very quickly remind you that we'll be on to round 3 tomorrow. Now, tapping that in. Lee Ga-yong up next with her second stroke for hole number 9. Remember, this is the last and final hole for her to play for. Oh, that is absolutely stunning. Well, if she has to finish this with a birdie, it's going to be just a perfect end to what would have been an almost perfect day for her. I would say actually a perfect day for her. Here's Choi Min-kyung. Choi Min Kyung, that fist bump will also put her up to a 10 under. She moves up to, well, that second rank, and that's so important. So she's in joint second now. So while she and Yoon In Ah did start off on pretty much level footing yesterday, well, one of them has scaled in, and that's Choi Min Kyung. Jun Yi Sung now. We've had moments like that, chipped straight out of the rough and into the cup. Well, not today, but Jun Yi Sung will keep it together. Kim Soo-ji carrying that 8 under. Choi Rim. Oh, that's just got to play truant, hasn't it? You'd think that you would have got, well, just that knock in. That's knocked in by Jung Yi-sun. And Kim Soo-ji will accept the applause. What a performance from her. 34 on the front, 34 on the back, 4 birdies and 9 under. Absolutely wonderful performance from her, and she is delighted with herself. I would be too. Well, the crowd's been delighted with her. Now teeing off for hole number 18, yes, Choi Min Kyung. Absolutely marvelous effort from her. Jun Yi-sung teeing off for hole number 17. Choi Rim will tee off for hole 17 as well. Remember, it's 155 meters that we're looking at. Par 3 for the asking. And this is the Kinloch. This is the Kinloch Golf Resort New Zealand hole that we call it. Here's Yoon In-ah. And that's a lovely wide angle shot that gives you, well, it's just a bit of the background of where the golfer is, that beautiful screen behind. Here's Yun Ina getting right behind it. Once again, that good bit of swing, and as I said, you know, just that little slight change in her body language. She looked a lot more confident when she started off the day. She's actually been a bit cautious with the way she's gone about her business in these last few holes. Just a tad bit of a doubt setting into her mind, and I think she's had to rethink a few things over. It's not easy. It's not easy when you have to just struggle through a day and when things don't seem to go right. Here's Lee Ga-young. That should be her last for the day. And what a finish! What an absolutely stunning finish as she finishes top of the heap with 13 under, 4 birdies on the front, 3 on the back, 32 on the front 9, 33 on the back 9, and 13 under. Absolutely stunning performance from Lee Ga-young. She might be emerging as one of the front runners. Yoo Hyun Jo. Just got that 8. Well, underscore that she's got in the bag. Lee Ga-young at the top of the heap with 65 points and a 13 under. Well, total Hong Jun-min and Choi Min-kyung are tied in that second position. With 10 under, I guess. And then, of course, you got Lim Hee-jong and Kim Soo-ji. Kim Soo-ji performing really well to finish with the 9 under and 68 points. Absolutely wonderful performance from her. We are coming fairly towards the end of round 2 and it's going to be an interesting one. Choi Min-kyung using a 54-degree wedge will go on to a second stroke. This is for hole number 18. Remember, this is going to be a last. Yun Ina goes next. That's going to draw close towards the destination. Yu Hyun Jo will finish with the birdie there. So Jun Yi-sung has worked very hard for her performance rights of the day. That's a lovely tap in. Choi Min Kyung finishes with a 10 under, the 2 birdies in there, even scores all around. So she's definitely had a very, very good event today. Choi Rim aims for birdie and she'll finish it. Absolutely wonderful performance from her. She's delighted the crowd. Finishes with a 9 under in tied 4th. Has had 4 birdies in there and 1 bogey, but she will be happy with the performance. So she's going to be one of the main contenders as well. There's no doubt about it. And Yoon Ina will also finish her day. She'll live to see another day. Finishes with a 6 under. She's got the sweetest smile ever for the camera as always. Lovely girl, very, very pleasant. She's soaked it all in today, and I think tomorrow we might see a brighter one for her. Having said that, one golfer that we totally, flew under the radar for much of today, like Kim Soo-ji, is the crowd favorite Kim Hyo-joo. She tees off for hole number 17. That's going to be with a 7 iron. So that migration will happen, of course. Let's very quickly remind you, of course, we are nearing the end of day 2. Very quickly, let's recap this for you. We had a very, very exciting day. The star performer so far of the day, of course, was Lee Ga-yong, who's finished with a 13 under. This is the Lotte Open being played, Lotte Open 2024. It's a part of the KLPGA calendar this year. And this, of course, is the 47th season of the KLPGA. So, very, very interesting turn of events for us. Choi Rim tees off for hole number 18. And she, along with Yoon Ina and Jun Yi Sung, this will be the last hole for them to play. Here's Park Ji-young teeing off for hole number 17. So right here from Seogyu in Incheon Metropolitan City, let's remind you, temperatures moved down to about 25 degrees. It hovered between 25 and 26 for most part of the afternoon. But wind speeds have been fluctuating. They went up to about 10, 12, 14. Yoon Ina, her last tee off for the day as well. That's definitely taken a good wallop. Getting down towards that last bit of action for the day, which has been, as I said earlier, a very interesting one. Lovely shot of all the golfers were just grouping together to get on with their last bit of play. Jun Yi Sung, 87 meters to the hole. Well, she did land that plumb close to the flagstick. It just rolled away a tad bit, but it should be a fairly positive end for our trio right now. Remember, there's two trios flying. Of course, this is our main trio in focus. Yoon Ina will go in with her next effort. That's close to the clubhouse. Second stroke of hole 18. Oh, absolutely wonderful. Oh, just about matching what her group mate Jun Yi Sung did. Choi Rim. Well, talk about keeping your group mates company and staying close to them. And this trio has certainly done that on hole number 18. Now, here's going to be a real test of skill, right? Which one of these three will be able to get it into that tin cup and take an underscore from this? I think that's really the battle between this trio right now. And there's always a bit of joy in that competition, isn't it? Otherwise, to just go on about your own game or your own round, which of course then finds you pitted against yourself and no other. But well, that's fascinating, isn't it? It almost reminds me of a good game of bowls that we used to play. Whenever I'd go visiting my cousins in the UK, and they love that so much. Played with those really heavy metal balls. And that's the other trio that we were talking of. Parkman G aims for birdie on hole 17. And as I said earlier, one of the finest golfers in the KLPGA, well, legendary now, even though she's still, well, young. Also a favorite with the crowd. Kusuma Michai. And she nails a birdie there. And that's the tie. Well, star. 6 birdies, 5 consecutive on that last 9. Oh, me oh my. What a performance from her. And she's going to be back tomorrow too. Joy rim, getting it fairly close. Lovely tapping from her. She finishes off. 33 on the back nine, 35 on the front, and a 9 underscore. She will be satisfied with the performance because she's really had to work hard for it. And while we talk of that, let's not forget in the other trio here where Kim Min-ji was. Park Ji-young will miss out on a birdie but will finish on an even score for hole number 17. And here's Yoon Ina. Ball would have been wonderful for her to have finished off with a birdie, and that expression says it all. She's really disappointed. She's missed out on a few of them today. It would have been wonderful to have seen her finish off with a birdie. She's had 2 bogeys in there, finished with a 6 under. It has been a tough day for her, and that expression says it all. I think just that 18th hole, a birdie for her would have just served her really well. But she's had a tough one, a very tough one. Quick hug there from Choi Rim. Let's not forget Junhee Sung still has to play. Well, her last bit, and I was just talking about which one of these 3 would be able to, well, earn a birdie. I think that was the interesting one. So 2 having missed out. Junhee Sung, can she come good? And well, she's missed out as well, which means it'll have to be an even score for her too. She was looking forward to an underscore here. And that's her effort for the day. So this trio has performed. Jun Yi-sung with a 7 under. She's got 35 on the front and, well, 32 on the back 9. Quick hug there for Choi Rim and Yoon Ina. Yoon Ina did have her moments, but the other two really shining bright, especially Choi Rim. And an applause there for these lovely ladies who've delighted the audience today. So very quickly, a look at our highlights for the day, and we go on to that 7th hole. And that was a lovely finish there. And then on to the 9th hole. Another amazing one that we saw. And that rolled in for a perfect placement. And then that 18th hole. Lim Hee-jung. She was very, very good today. Capped it off with the 9 under. And on the 7th hole, well, another wonderful moment and a birdie from Han Jung-min. From a good distance, covered that ground and found her way through. Sheer delight there. On the 2nd hole, it was Kim Soo-ji. Perfect placement from her as well. And she was really stellar in her performance today. Worked hard, took her time, gauged the situation. It's not like she was flying high, on performance, but she worked hard for it. And I think she earned the fruits of her labor really well. And another fine finish that we saw there. Kim Soo-ji was back again with another birdie here. That was the second of the first 9, and then on the 10th hole, another shining moment that we saw. And Lee Ga-yong, a star performer for the day. Well, she just had some amazing moments in there. Moments that kept us glued to our, screens as well. And there on the 11th hole, what a lovely move we saw from Choi Min-kyung. Then Lee Ga-yong back again on that 5th hole. Really looking to make things count. And another fine finish from her. And on the 18th hole, and the 17th hole as well. Absolutely stunning finish from Choi Min Kyung. Lee Ga-yong back again, remember. But she had to place that well, and boy did she do that. She set herself up for so many birdies in such a meticulous manner today, and I think that that's really why she's sitting right now at the top of the heap. 33 on the back, 32 on the front, and 13 under, well, her score for the day. So that's pretty much it for round 2 of the Lotte 2024 Open, which is being played at the Bears Best Cheongna. And let's very quickly run through the rankings before we can bid you goodbye. Lee Ga-yong sits at the top with 13 under. Hong Jun-min and Choi Min Kyung with 10 under are in tied second. Let's not forget there's a good chance for players like Park Hyun Kyung, Si Yoo Jin, and Kim Soo-ji to still get in there and make their mark. So it's all happening right here in Seogyu, and we must remind you that tomorrow we'll be back for day 3. A lot of the players will be missing, and that entire chunk will be trimmed down. The cream of the crop will get in tomorrow, and then of course the finest will make it through to the finale or the final round on Sunday, which will be round 4. Thank you so much for sharing the action of round 2 in the Lotte Open 2024 with us. My name is Glenn Mascarenhas, and I'll be back tomorrow to take you through another exciting day of golf right here at the Bears Best Cheongna GC. So right now it's time for me to shut shop and ship out of here and to say bye-bye for now.